Every damn day, you stare into that mirror, eyes locked with the reflection staring back, hollow, haunted, but still standing. The face you see carries the weight of battles no one else has witnessed, scars that run deeper than flesh, and a fire that refuses to die even when the world tries to drown it. You ask yourself the same question over and over: why am I still here? It's not a question born from weakness. No, it's the opposite. It's the question of someone who has fought too long, bled too much, and still wakes up to do it all over again. The people around you. They see the surface, the clenched fists, the unbroken stance, the sharp glare that warns the world not to test you. But they don't see the storm inside. They don't hear the screams you swallow down, the nights spent wrestling with ghosts, or the way your soul feels like shattered glass held together by sheer willpower. They call you strong because you don't collapse in front of them. They mistake your silence for peace, your endurance for invincibility. But you know the truth. You're not unbreakable. You're just the one who refuses to stay broken, and yet, here you are, still breathing, still fighting, still dragging yourself forward when every muscle in your body begs you to stop. Why? Because somewhere in the wreckage of everything you've endured, there's a voice, small but unkillable, that whispers, keep going. Not for them. Not for their applause or their pity. But for you. For the part of you that still remembers what it means to rise, even when the world has tried to bury you alive. This is where it starts. Not with a battle cry, not with a victory, but with a quiet, relentless question in the mirror. And the answer isn't spoken. It's proven, every damn day. You know this feeling too well, the kind that doesn't just sit on your chest but becomes your chest, pressing down until every breath is a war. It's not just exhaustion. It's the slow, suffocating certainty that no matter how hard you fight, the weight never lightens. The world doesn't care if you're on your knees. It doesn't pause when your hands shake or when your vision blurs from tears you refuse to shed. It just keeps piling on, stone by stone, until you're buried alive beneath expectations, regrets, and the ghosts of battles you never asked for. Some days, it's not even pain, it's nothingness. A hollowed-out numbness where even screaming feels pointless because the silence swallows it whole. You've stood in that darkness, fists clenched, teeth gritted, waiting for something, anything, to answer back. But the only echo is your own heartbeat, a ragged drum reminding you, you're still here. You're still fighting. And that's the cruelest joke of all, isn't it? The world tells you to keep going like it's some noble choice, like you're supposed to find strength in the struggle. But you know the truth, this isn't about strength. It's about survival. It's about dragging yourself through another day when every cell in your body is screaming stop. It's about waking up to the same war, the same wounds, the same voice in your head hissing, what's the point? But here's what they don't understand. The weight doesn't make you weaker. It forges you. Every pound of pressure, every second of gasping for air, every time you dig your nails into the dirt and pull yourself forward, it's not just endurance. It's defiance. You carry the weight because you've learned how to. Because somewhere in the mess of it all, you've become the kind of creature that can bear the unbearable. And yeah, maybe no one sees it. Maybe no one knows how close you've come to breaking. But that's not why you do it. You don't carry the weight for applause. You carry it because letting it crush you was never an option. So you breathe. You stand. You take one more step. Not because it's easy. Because it's the only way out. This isn't a fair fight. It never was. Life doesn't come at you with honor, it kicks you when you're down, sucker punches you when you're not looking, and laughs while you spit blood. You know this better than anyone. Every damn day, You step into the ring knowing the odds are rigged, knowing the ref isn't on your side, knowing the crowd isn't cheering for you. But you step in anyway. Because what's the alternative? There's no bell to save you, no timeout when the blows land too hard. Just you, the mat beneath your knees, and the taste of copper in your mouth. And just when you think you've got your footing, life throws another curveball, a betrayal, a loss, a voice in your head whispering you're not good enough. It's not just physical. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. A war on all fronts with no reinforcements coming. But here's the thing they'll never tell you, the fact that you're still standing is the middle finger the universe never saw coming. You've taken hits that would have folded lesser people. You've been counted out more times than you can remember. But something in you refuses to stay down. Maybe it's rage. Maybe it's pride. Maybe it's the sheer, stubborn refusal to let the darkness win. Whatever it is, it's yours. And it's the reason you get back up, every single time. This isn't about winning clean. It's about surviving dirty. It's about clawing your way forward even when your nails are cracked and bleeding. It's about spitting out your broken teeth and grinning because you're still here. The world wants you to believe that strength is never falling. But real strength? Real strength is falling 1,000 times and rising 1,001. It's looking defeat in the eye and saying, "Is that all you've got?" So let life swing. Let it think it's got you cornered. You've been training for this fight your whole damn life. And you don't plan on losing, you didn't choose this pain. It chose you. Marked you. Left its fingerprints on your skin like brands that never fade. But here's the truth no one tells you, those scars aren't just wounds, they're lessons. Every cut taught you how to dodge sharper blades. Every burn showed you what real heat feels like so you'd never fear the flame again. People see your armor and mistake it for coldness. They don't realize you welded it yourself in the darkest hours, hammering shattered pieces of yourself into something that could withstand the storm. They call you unfeeling because you don't flinch at punches that would break softer souls. What they don't know. You feel everything. The memories like shrapnel in your chest. The old hurts that twinge when the weather changes. The way your hands remember every weapon they've ever held, whether steel or your own clenched fists. This isn't about being invincible. It's about being adaptable. Like molten iron, you've learned to reshape yourself with every blow. Where others see damage, you see blueprints, maps showing where to reinforce, where to stay flexible, where to leave no opening for the next attack. Your pain didn't make you brittle, it made you layered. Tempered. 1,000 fractures healed stronger at the breaks. And when new wounds come, because they always do, you don't panic. You assess. You adapt. You add another plate to the armor. Not to shut the world out, but to control what gets through. The secret isn't avoiding damage. It's knowing exactly what you can take, and knowing you've taken worse. So let them call you hardened. Let them whisper that you've lost your softness. You know what they'll never understand, the toughest armor was always grown, not worn. And yours fits like a second skin, they see what you let them see. The steady hands. The unshaken voice. The way you can walk into any room like you own it, shoulders back, chin up, no trace of the earthquake living in your ribs. You've mastered the art of performance, perfected the illusion that everything's under control. But behind the curtain, you're holding together a collapsing star with duct tape and sheer force of will. It's not lying. It's survival. The world doesn't reward vulnerability, it exploits it. So you've learned to package your chaos into something palatable. Laugh when you want to scream. Nod when you want to collapse. Say, "I'm fine," with such conviction that even you almost believe it. The mask isn't weakness, it's strategy. A calculated decision to keep the vultures from circling, to keep the wolves from smelling blood. But here's the brutal irony: the better you get at this performance, the lonelier it becomes. When you never stumble in public, people assume the road is easy. When you never show cracks, they assume you're made of marble. They compliment your strength without realizing it's the very thing that isolates you, this unspoken expectation that you'll always be the pillar. The rock, the unbreakable one. And maybe that's the hardest part. Not the pain itself, but the way you've become a stranger in your own story. The way you sometimes catch your reflection mid-performance and wonder, who is that? Where did I go? The way you've buried your trembling hands so deep that even you've forgotten how they shake. But listen, the mask isn't failure. It's armor of a different kind. Every time you bite back tears in public, you're not being fake. You're buying yourself time to fall apart in private, on your own terms. Every smile that doesn't reach your eyes isn't deception, it's a ceasefire, a temporary truce until you're strong enough to fight again. So wear the mask when you must. But never forget, the most convincing performances come from those who know exactly what they're hiding. And you? You're the greatest actor of them all. There comes a moment of brutal clarity, a crossroads where you realize no cavalry is coming, no hero will swoop in to save you, no hand will pull you from the quicksand. This is your fight. Yours alone. And that realization doesn't break you, it hardens something deep in your bones. You stop waiting for rescue. Stop expecting understanding. Stop hoping someone will finally see the war you're waging. Because the truth, no one ever truly will. This isn't bitterness, it's liberation. When you accept that no one is coming, something shifts. The weight doesn't get lighter, but your shoulders grow stronger. The path doesn't get clearer, but your vision sharpens. You stop wasting energy on explanations, on begging for empathy that will never come. Instead, you become fluent in the language of silence. You learn to stitch your own wounds in the dark. To be your own medic, your own strategist, your own goddamn cheerleader. They'll call you cold for this. Mistake your self-reliance for arrogance, your independence for detachment. Let them. They don't know what it costs to look in the mirror every morning and pledge allegiance to yourself. To be both the soldier and the battlefield. The destroyer and the rebuilt city. There's an unexpected power in this solitude. When you stop expecting others to be your lifeline, you discover depths in yourself you never knew existed. You find reserves of grit that only reveal themselves when there's absolutely no other option. The kind of strength that's born not from inspiration, but from the absence of alternatives. This isn't about pushing people away. It's about recognizing that some journeys can only be walked alone. Some lessons can only be learned in isolation. Some versions of yourself can only be forged in the private crucible of your suffering. So you stop waiting. Stop hoping. And start becoming. The world wanted you to need it. Joke's on them. You became the storm instead, you've survived. Again. Pulled yourself from the wreckage one more time, stitched your wounds with hands that shouldn't still be steady, forced air into lungs that have every right to quit. The battle's over, for now. But instead of triumph, there's just this hollow echo, what was it all for? This is the secret no warrior talks about, the aftershocks of survival. The way victory can taste like ashes when you're already bracing for the next blow. You scan the horizon not for peace, but for the next threat. You flinch at calmness because stillness has always been the eye of the hurricane, never the end of the storm. They call this resilience. You call it exhaustion in a prettier package. The world wants to frame your story as some inspirational arc, the underdog who kept getting up, the phoenix who kept rising. But they don't see the toll. The way your reflexes stay hair-trigger long after the danger passes. The way you eye kindness with suspicion, waiting for the catch. The way you sometimes wish you could stop being strong just long enough to be human. Here's the truth they won't tell you: recovery isn't linear. Healing isn't a straight line from broken to whole. Some days you're the warrior. Some days you're the fresh recruit trembling in the trenches. Some days the weight of all you've survived presses down until you can't remember why you bothered. But this isn't weakness, it's the reality of being battle-tested. Every scar pulses with memory. Every triumph carries the ghost of what it cost. The irony? The very instincts that kept you alive, the hypervigilance, the self-reliance, the refusal to trust easily, now isolate you in the aftermath. You speak a language only other survivors understand, and even then, only partially. Yet there's something revolutionary in this space between wars. This is where you learn the difference between surviving and living. Where you start reclaiming the pieces the battlefield tried to claim. Where you realize strength isn't just about enduring pain, but about daring to hope again despite knowing how badly hope can burn you. So let the aftermath unsettle you. Let the quiet unnerve you. Let the doubt rage. These aren't signs of failure, they're proof you're more than just your survival. The war stories wrote themselves on your skin. But the peace? That's yours to author. There comes a night, always a night, when the armor finally comes off. Not by choice, but because the weight becomes unbearable. The carefully constructed fortress of your composure cracks, and suddenly you're face to face with everything you've been running from. The memories. The regrets. The ghosts of every version of yourself that didn't make it this far. This isn't weakness. This is the reckoning. You've spent so long being the unshakable one, the warrior, the survivor, that you forgot what it felt like to simply be. To acknowledge the fractures instead of pretending they don't exist. The irony? The moment you finally stop fighting yourself is the moment you become truly dangerous. Not to others, to the darkness that's been chasing you. Because now you're seeing it clearly for the first time. Not as some unconquerable monster, but as a wounded thing that's been feeding on your fear. The world taught you to hide these moments. To be ashamed of vulnerability. But here's the truth they don't understand: real strength isn't measured by how long you can pretend you're invincible. It's measured by the courage to sit with your own broken pieces and say, I see you. I know you. And we're going to be okay anyway. This is where the real transformation begins. Not on the battlefield, but in the quiet aftermath. Not through force, but through acceptance. You're not surrendering, you're evolving. The armor served its purpose, but now you're learning to walk without its weight. And that scares the hell out of everyone who thought they knew you. Because the warrior who's made peace with their demons, that's someone who can't be controlled. Can't be broken. Can't be stopped. You've reached the stage where the pain is no longer an enemy, it's a teacher. The kind that doesn't give tests but brands the lessons directly into your nervous system. You wake up one morning and realize the things that once shattered you are now your most reliable navigation tools. That ache in your chest. It's not just damage, it's radar. Those nightmares that used to leave you gasping. They're early warning systems now.